amongst his peers. Now he's big time. Now he's hardcore. You add validity to him. Anti-graffiti, my friend, no tolerance. And look who they gave it to. Nubian Madman, No Mercy, 9mm, Nymphomaniac. Those are the things that I made up. Now the other things that I heard, no money, no muscles, that all that stuff. This is Philly, and we quit the hacker cat.
North Philadelphia is no cakewalk.
Philadelphia graffiti is basically a hybrid of graffiti tagging.
Here, the tagging form is actually the most important.
When I say hand styles, that's what we call tagging. And I believe that's just the script style that everybody does. When you come to Philly, you realize that you can evolve that even more. We have maybe 8 or 9 different varieties of tagging styles that everybody basically has to learn.
I've never seen anywhere else in this country or around the world where people will write their name from the ground to as far as they can reach and not being a piece or a throw up, but just being a tag.
This was kind of plain, so I would be like, just to add a little bit more depth to it. Plus, I want to confuse people. I don't want everybody to always read what I'm doing. So that's basically how we're getting down in Philly.
We have letters that stand up and letters that lay down.
Now that's N, M, with the crown naturally.
And letters that are so complicated that they mirror a heart.
You can see the center is real tight, but the top is faded, the bottom is faded. And that's, you know, an up and down fade. And then I come down with a smiley face, a little weed in the mouth, a little crown. That's my name backwards. Quotation mark. No emphasis. Man, I hate y'all. Alright, and that's my name, NM, with a little script and a little wicked all mixed in together.
See, that's a wicked right there. That's my man, Bait. We was trying to fill these books up. This is like around the time when we were still connecting with people. We were still hanging out with different artists. I grew up in a very diverse area. Germantown is the best of both worlds. It's not too far from a pretty nice neighborhood, but you know, you can still buy crack. We kind of early on realized that experiences themselves could be our mentors. So I didn't necessarily need to I didn't feel like I needed a father figure. You know, I used to run track and play ball and all that. But I didn't care for that, though, you know what I mean? I couldn't shine hard enough. I thought my name was so cool, you know, I wanted to blast the whole place with this NM tag, you know, and I thought that everybody was going to love me. At first, they hated it. And I got to admit, I had a sloppy hand. I didn't have that kind of control at first, but what I did have was a passion to bomb. You know, a thorough graffiti writer that ran the city. That's what I wanted to do, you know what I mean? I was living it. I would go out, boost, come back home, hide my paint. Moms would try and keep tight tabs on me. I'd try and slip out. I see she found my paint. Where my paint at, Mom? You know what I mean? She'd be like, what paint?
He got in trouble with the law, and I had to go get him out of jail for graffiti writing, and then I was just totally upset. And I didn't associate it at that time with that little boy of 7 and 8 who said he wanted to copyright his cartoon characters. What I appreciated was that he had a passion for it, that it wasn't going to go away, that he was going to continue to find opportunities to paint. But it was also during that period of time when a lot of things were happening to young people in some of these neighborhoods, and I was afraid. I was afraid for my son.
She would ask me, don't write on anything in this neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like in her mind, she'd just be like, just don't make me see it on a day-to-day basis. Because at one point I went bananas. I had destroyed just about everything because I had a bus route that ran by my house. I had to let people know that was my route. And they come through my hood. This is my route. Ain't nobody bombing nothing around here like I'm bombing it. You take a bus route, a Charlie route, subway line, and that's your route. You route from the beginning to the end. And it can't just be tags. It's got to be throw-ups. You got to do straight letters. And yeah, you got to drop pieces. You got to show them you can take them to that level. These kids are coming out and they do throw-ups everywhere. I'm the king. Throw-up king. I'm like, that's just one part of the game. You know what I mean? That's like saying I'm the best baseball player in the world, but you can't hit. All you can do is pitch. You're not the best baseball player. You might be the best pitcher. You ain't the best baseball player.
Sometimes we used to keep a dummy paper, like saying we had permission from the owner in case the cops came. Or if we didn't have that, we used to tell them, like, do you honestly think we'd be out here in the daytime unless we had permission?
You would go down the strip and see a rally. NM. Go around the block, I might have a burner. And now you look up on the rooftop, you see a straight line. I didn't just bomb it with cans. I scratched the windows with rocks. Took markers to the mailbox, the signs, stickers, whatever it took. MPH, North Philly Hustler. I bombed that whole neighborhood.
That ain't the only body out here, trust me.
I find it amazing how many kids follow the art of Saber and his friends and all the other kids, but to hear the stories that they don't even know who he is. Some kids think he's a little Hispanic kid, and others think he's a black kid. Some kids think he's a short white kid. Some kids think he's, 16, and others think he's old.
I've heard that I was dead many times. Graffiti's all about gossip.
Hi, sweetie.
This myth, it follows him, but it's a very two-dimensional character of who he is.
He's infamous, if you will. He's got a larger-than-life persona as far as his graffiti accomplishments and his name.
Laser blasts and gem spinners. That's Saber's reputation. And he's a pervert.
The first day I got my name was the day after I had my first sexual experience, and I saw the letters, and I saw that was the most amazing letter combination ever. Like an S in the beginning, the A is beautiful, a B in the middle, which makes it symmetrical, coming back into itself, the E to balance out the A, and then the R to kick it off. It's just like the sickest letter combination yet, I think, personally. And so I'm walking with her, holding her hand, crossing the street. She gets hit by a car, gets smashed, was lying on the center divider, leaking out of her head. And simultaneously, I'm looking across the street, and the kid who gave me my name was getting jumped by these serious gangsters. Basically, the two worlds of women and graffiti were just unfolding to me in this like hellish turmoil tornado of like, holy shit, this is what I'm in for the next, the rest of my life.
When I would tattoo him, he would come and he would just unload on me this whole pent-up ration of shit. It's just like fever of Saber.
My whole family are artists, and both my parents graduated Art Center, so I grew up at Art Center and seeing hyper design, seeing car design. I freestyled everything. I had a general plan, but nothing too specific. Started getting the blue tape out and just started taping out shapes. This is too hard, so I got to make it softer.
He drew every day since he was 2 years old. It was almost something he had to do, because when he didn't, he actually became very irritable.
I didn't have any brothers and sisters to beat me up. I spent a lot of time by myself. I remember getting in fights in kids in first grade over who was the best artist in class. I was the only kid that was willing to fight, so. I'll even show you how bad of a toy I was. This is my first piece.
13 or 14 is when he started to change.
A skateboard can't exist without a cityscape. So I used to take the bus down to Wilshire, just to get away from the suburbs because I hated it so much out there.
And then I started to see this little black book he would carry around, and I would ask to see it, and he was practicing his tagging.
I've been known not to be the greatest tagger, but Eclipse definitely has one of the best hands, for sure. He's, the originator of our crew, and Eclipse plays a really important role in all of our lives since we were very young.
He got involved with some kids that came from a whole different background, and somehow he identified with that.
It was important to be part of